Good, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today, our topic is all about characteristics of effective and efficient instructional tools. An effective ICT-based instruction material is a well-planned and a well-designed one. So, of course, if you want to, if you want to be effective on your ICT-based instruction, it should be well-planned and well-designed. This means that the preparation of the IMs must be planned very well, and it must be ensured that they are developed to meet the learning objectives of the language class. So, of course, diba, it should be aligned with the learning objective. So English language competency should be given importance during the planning and service training and in the making of ICT strategic plan, action plans, and strategic intervention materials for English language instruction. It is also highly recommended that teachers maximize the use of teacher-made websites, OER, open educational resources, and software or mobile applications to encourage autonomous learning of students, at the same time utilizing these tools in flipping the classroom along with task-based language activities, content and language integrated learning, and project-based outputs. Of course, karon nga strategy kay nag-involves na ang teaching and learning process nag-integrate na siya ang ICT-based instructions, diba? So, it is highly recommended daw that teachers maximize the use of teacher-made websites. Of course, teachers should utilize websites that are found in the ICT, so that the instructions is effective. And software or mobile applications, they should also utilize it, encourage autonomous learning of students, and at the same time, utilize these tools in flipping the classroom along with task-based language learning, content and language integrated learning, and project-based output.
Okay, so now let's proceed to the characteristics of an instructional tool. So the first characteristics of an instructional tool is enhances instructional effectiveness. So the instructional material must be able to facilitate the increased students' achievement in language classes. So through the instructional materials, all students, including those with special learning needs and students at risk, will be benefited and will be helped to demonstrate the intended learning outcomes of their language course. Kaya of course, di ba, we are kanang na in the modern era na, so kanang na ang multiple intelligences of the students will be catered because of the kanang modern instructional materials. So with the use of the technological tools, students' progress is monitored and acted upon by the concerned individuals, like the teachers. So like if the student's progress in the class or in the lesson that is being provided by the teachers is being monitored because of the instructional instructional materials that is involved with ICT, the parents and the school as a whole. So let's proceed to the second characteristic. So it promotes active learning. So instructional materials are expected to help promote active learning. Through the use of interactive technological tools, learning interest is stimulated and students' focus is redirected. Like, di ba, active learning man dito. For example, mag-use na mga instructional materials ang teachers na involved with ICT, like, interactive kayo siya, kaya ma-enjoy man dito ang mga bata, like, mag-show mga videos or mga pictures, like, di ba, ma-catch dito lang interest. So, by this, students and teachers will be highly engaged in the learning process. So, like, dili boring ang learning process nila. So, the International Society for Technology in Education, or ISTE, cited Debarot in 2002 give the following descriptions of a learning environment that uses interactive technologies. So, the traditional learning environment in the left side and the real learning environment on the right side. So, in the traditional learning environment, the teacher-centered instruction. Then, the second side is the student-centered learning. Like, sa traditional kamagot, di ba, ang teacher mo din mag-instruct. So, in the second side is the student-centered learning. So, the students have the rights to do the task or being catered in their different operation, then sa quad and multi-task na siya, then single media, then multimedia, isolated work, collaborative work, information delivery, information exchange. So like information delivery is a one-way process raw. When we talk information exchange, kaya hindi mo na siya two-way process. Then informative delivery, informative exchange. Information delivery, information exchange. Passive learning, active learning, explanatory, inquiry-based learning. Factual, knowledge-based learning, critical thinking, and informatization making. Reactive response, proactive or planned action. Isolated or artificial context of authentic real-world action. So that is the differences between the traditional learning environment and the new learning environment caused by the ICT, by the technology. That's all.
Okay, now let's proceed to the another characteristics of instructional tools. Third, we have developed critical thinking. So, technological tools and instructional materials must be designed and implemented in such a way that they help develop critical thinking skills and among the learners. So, the technical tools and instructional materials must be designed to develop the critical thinking of the students. And next, so according to Baron et al. 2002, the structure and use of technology can promote higher level thinking skills. So the technology can help students to enhance their prior knowledge or like that, and thinking skills to think critically. Then they further stated that some technological tools are designed to encourage problem solving. Yes, of course. So the technological tools can help students to improve their critical thinkings and also to solve problems. And fourth job accommodates differentiated instructions. So students have diverse backgrounds and have diverse intelligences and learning styles. They learn in different ways, so they express their thoughts and ideas also differently. So because of these diverse backgrounds, so we have different multiple intelligences. So there are instructional tools na kanang suit sa ilahang kanang capacity or ability in order for them to learn. Next, consequently, instructional materials and tools must be of help to the teacher to facilitate his or her classes, considering the different profiles of the student. Yes, because we have different multiple intelligence, so the teacher could think kanang strategies kana makater niya ang multiple intelligence sa young students in order for the students to learn. So there must also be an opportunity for individualized and independent learning with collaborative and cooperative learning. Yes, the students could think kanang mga strategy nga makater niya ang kanang different learning styles sa young students. So mag-include siya individual activity or group activity, yun na, collaborative or cooperative learning in order for the students can develop their learning or improve.
In motivating the use of instructional materials is a vehicle for the teacher to facilitate the teaching learning process. The use of these materials is expected to motivate the students to pay attention and actively participate with the ubiquity and variety of educational tools available to language teachers. Selecting the most appropriate and best format is very critical to stimulate learner motivation. So the teacher use instructional materials is to help to facilitate the teaching learning process. So use these materials to motivate the students to pay attention and actively participate with the ubiquity and variety of the educational tools available to language teachers, selecting the most appropriate and best format. Multisensory. One of the biggest challenges among teachers is to prepare for instructional materials that are multisensory. So it is biggest challenge because the teacher should refer the instrumental multisensory so that are with the advent of technology tools developed by very good programmers. With the advent of technology tools developed by very good programmers, multimedia are available that allow teachers to just learn how to use them. The maximum is the teaching of their lesson. Use teachers allow students to learn how to use them to maximum the teaching of their lessons.
Okay, let's proceed to the principle. So, the first principle is equitable use. The design is useful and marketable to people with diverse abilities. So, there are the guidelines of equitable use. First, provide the same means of use of all users. Identical whenever possible, equivalent when not. Second is avoid segregating or stigmatizing any users. Third, give prevention for privacy, security, and safety. Safety should be equally available to all users. Fourth is make the design appealing to all users. So, the second principle is flexibility in use. The design accommodates a wide range of individual preferences and abilities. So there are the guidelines. First, provide a choice in methods of use. Second, accommodate right or left-handed access and use. Third, facilitate the user's accuracy and precision. Fourth, provide adaptability to the user's pace. So, the third principle is simple and intuitive use. Use of the design is easy to understand, regardless of the user's experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration level. So, the guidelines is first, eliminate unnecessary complexity. Second, be consistent with user expectation and intuition. The third is accommodate a wide range of literacy and language skills. Fourth, arrange information consistent with its importance. Fifth, provide effective prompting and feedback during and after task completion.
Go, yeah.
Yeah, let's continue the next cluster of principle of persistentful information. The design communicates unnecessary information for the user effectively regardless of the condition or the user sensory abilities. These are the important of part necessary abilities of students. Guidelines. Use different modes of pictorial, verbal, tactile, or presentation of similar information. This is the base of presentation of students. Then, provide adequate contrast between essential information and text surroundings. And then, maximize the visibility of essential information of the principle. Then, different elements in which we can be describe the easy example of easy to derive instruction of comprehension. So provide compatibility with a variety of techniques of device used in a table of sensory conditions.
Okay, next is principle 5, so tolerance for error. So the design minimizes hazards and adverse consequences of accidental or unintended actions. So, guidelines. The first one is arrange elements to minimize hazards and errors. Most used elements, most accessible, hazardous elements eliminated. So, this first guideline to sabot siya na using the ICT. So, it's the saying out, before using, it should be safety, avoid hazardous elements. Then, next is provide warnings of hazard and errors. So, it should, this is also the most important, provide warnings of hazard and errors, because when using and without warnings, so it may cause some it may cause some errors. So to avoid it, so you should be providing warnings of hazard and errors. Then C is provide fail-safe features. So provide fail-safe features. So it means that if there's something if ay error, so sa fail-safe, so ma-recover na to siya, ma-recover din na to. Then the last one is discourage unconscious action in tasks that requires vigilance. So, but in this last part, so when using ICT, it should be avoid the actions that we didn't know to, because there are some actions that wala nakabalo nga ay nakuha din natin. So dapat we should know what we are doing using the ICT.
So, principle 6, low physical effort. The design can be used efficiently and supportably within a minimum of fatigue. So, here are the guidelines. First is allow the user to maintain a natural body posture. So, yes, you need to allow you need to maintain the user, maintain your body posture. So, second is reasonable in operating forces. Then third is minimize repetitive action. Minimize yung mga balik-balik ng actions para malis ang agapoy sa then fourth is minimize sustained physical effort. Then in principle 7, size and space for approach and use. Appropriate size and space are provided for approach, reach, manipulation, and use regardless of user's body size, posture, or mobility. So here are the guidelines. Provide a clear line of sight important elements for any seated or standing user. So you need to kinahanglan nga mag-provide o clear sight and important elements for one thing for any standing user. So second is make reach to all of components comfortable for any seated or standing user. Then accommodate variation in hand and grip size. Then the last one is provide adequate space for use and of assistive device of personal assistance.
Gina.
Let's proceed. So the next talk is Center for Academic and Faculty Development in 2020. So the Center of Academic college cited the following three UDL principles. These principles are deemed important to educators as we are often challenged to design and deliver curriculum for an increasingly diverse student population. So, each student learns differently and can benefit from having a variety of learning formats to choose from, flexible assessments and tools to help with organization of new information and skills. Diba? As we all know that the eight multiple intelligences, we have students learn in various ways on their comfort zone. So by in these principles, it became flexible to meet the needs of the students. So UDL provides us with a variety of strategies and resources to help meet diverse learning needs, improve accessibility to learning opportunities, and increase student access. So these are the three principles. Principle 1, provide multiple means of representation. So present information and content in different ways. An example of this is the way how the teachers let us explore or be creative in their presentation of our outputs or the activity, the performance task. You can also use like the usage of PPT, the Canva, as well as video recording, or that can enhance the video editing skills of the students. Next is provide multiple means of action and expression. Differentiate the ways that students can express what they know and stimulate interest and motivation for learning. As what I have said, kanang ipa-explore kung asa ta comfortable or kung to get out from our comfort zone to discover new skills, especially technological skills. So, para sa dili boring bitaw siya, it gives us the convenience to present our ideas clearly. Next is the cited concepts and principles of universal design learning are very helpful to rationalize why it is important for every teacher not to just get any instructional tool for the sake of having one, and for the teacher to integrate technologies without understanding some learning principles. So the UDL principles is very important to have a balance in choosing learning activities and the appropriate tool suited for that activity. So that ang pag-deliver or ang pag-present sa activity will be successful and na siya'y ulod or like nice sense. So, and that's all. Thank you.
Let's continue. My topic is all about universal design for learning. So what is universal design for learning? The concept of UDL is very important in preparing instructional tools and language teaching. The concept stem originally from UD principle as well as from our research in neuroscience on how the brain learns by Rose and Mayer 2012. And according to them, universal design for learning applies the concept of accessibility and inclusion beyond physical environment to design teaching and learning opportunities in ways are current, accessible, and engaging for all students, including those with differences, needs, or disabilities. So meaning to say that this UDL is the UDL concept is catering students not just for the normal students one, but for also for the students with disabilities. So the purpose for this is connected to education for all. Meaning to say everyone is allowed to have education, and everyone should fairly, equally inside the classroom, even though that person, that student has a disability. And professional practitioners and academians were able to share their thoughts about UDL principles these principles are very important for us to appreciate how we integrate the concept in our ICT pedagogy. So meaning to say, if you remember that we have this international contest that naka-apply galing ang one of our students from GSCEC that they won the international contest of ICT in Dubai. So that's all. Thank you.